From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
And it is 5 o'clock here on your Monday morning. Good morning to you. I'm Lauren Casey. Here's what's making headlines on this December 7th. A lifeline for local businesses this morning, how one community is helping shop owners survive beyond the holiday season. The investigation into the murder of a well-known Indianapolis man takes a step forward today. We're breaking down the court appearance scheduled for this morning. And a big win over Wisconsin means big things for the red-hot Hoosiers, where IU lands in the latest rankings. Here at 5 o'clock, I want to thank you for joining our team on Good Morning Indiana. Alyssa Donovan is in for Todd Clausen today. And Alyssa, it's kind of chilly as people are heading out the door early this morning.
Yeah, it's a cold start to our work week. Temperatures right now in the low 30s, and we're going to stay that way over the next couple hours here, dropping into the 20s briefly mid-morning, and then we're climbing into the low 30s. By about the noon hour, we'll be just above freezing. So it is a chilly start to our week. Feels a little colder than the 30s right now because we do have just a bit of a wind chill with those northerly winds, very light this morning. Cloudy skies to start our day. We also have just a few flurries on our radar. Most of those are way to the north, but can't rule out seeing a few in central Indiana this morning as well. If we do see any, they will be very brief and light flurries, not expecting accumulation rather from that system moving across the area. And we are seeing our coldest day in the forecast today. 38 degrees today for our daytime high. Our warmest day, though, is on the way. 54 degrees later this week. I'll have those details in just a few minutes.
All right, Alyssa, thank you so much. Let's take a look right now at traffic as you're heading out the door this morning. Here's I-70 near Sherman Drive on the east side. You can see there that traffic is flowing freely. There's no delays, no restrictions to slow you down. So that is great news if you do have to head out to work early this morning. Later today, we expect new information about the future of the restaurant and hospitality industry in the state of Indiana. A typical December is busy with restaurants, with holiday parties, office catering. But the association's president says since the start of November, sales and foot traffic, it's down at restaurants and it's only getting worse. That's why the association is launching a new campaign called Dine Safe December. It's a reminder of everything restaurants are doing as they are committed to helping Hoosier hospitality.
We remove seating, we remove tables. We've done those things. We can't sit people at bar tops in some communities, which matters because of those additional seats. People are not going out late in the evenings. We don't see that type of business. We also see zero convention business. We see zero sports business, and also central business districts throughout the entire state of Indiana, and frankly, throughout the entire country and world, are been absolutely decimated because people are not going to their offices. So we don't see that typical business travel. We don't see that typical business dinner, lunch, breakfast, or anything of that matter.
Well, there's a new campaign that hopes to encourage people to find ways to support our local restaurants by allowing them to do holiday cooking this month. Now to the pandemic and its impact on our state. The state health department reports 6,700 new COVID cases. Sunday's report is the lowest number of new cases since Wednesday. Taking a closer look at how the virus is impacting Hoosiers now, data from the state health department shows the majority of cases are in Hoosiers between 20 and 29 years old. Health officials are reporting 34 more Hoosiers have died with the virus. That's the lowest number since last Sunday. Since the pandemic began, more than 5,900 Hoosiers have died with the coronavirus. Today, the man charged with the murder of former IU football player and businessman Chris Beatty will appear in court. The Marion County Prosecutor's Office has charged Marcus Anderson for the May 30th shooting death of Chris Beatty. Beatty was shot while walking near Talbot and Vermont streets. This all happened during the unrest following the killing of George Floyd in Minneapolis. Anderson will appear in court at 9:30 this morning for an initial court hearing. A Whitestown homeowner is alive this morning, and it's thanks to strangers who happen to be in the right place at the right time. The Good Samaritans spotted flames coming from this house located on Dusty Sands Road late Saturday night. They managed to pull the homeowner from this burning home. The homeowner suffered second and third degree burns. The Good Samaritans were checked out and released at the scene. Indiana's election leaders are facing a lawsuit from some voters with disabilities. The lawsuit accuses the Indiana Election Commission and the Secretary of State of discriminating against voters who are blind. The plaintiffs say Indiana has one of the most restrictive absentee voting systems in the country for blind voters. It only allows them to vote at home with a traveling board of elections officials. The attorneys say that they hope this case ensures all Hoosier voters are granted equal access to a private and independent vote. Indiana Hoosiers continue to win and they continue to rise in the rankings. The Hoosiers playing Wisconsin on Saturday in Madison. Jack Tuttle threw 2 touchdown passes for the Hoosiers. Hoosiers 14-6 win snaps a 10-game losing skid against the Badgers. With the win over Wisconsin, the Hoosiers move to 6-1 on the season. The win also pushed the Hoosiers to number 8 in the AP Top 25 poll. That's the highest the Hoosiers have ranked in the AP poll since 1967. The Hoosiers will face Purdue in the Old Oaken Bucket game. That's next weekend. The game will kick off at 3:30 Saturday afternoon down in Bloomington. IU has won its last 5 out of 7 matches against the Boilermakers. Dozens of struggling local families are getting help for the holidays. On Sunday, Jewish families held services at its Adopt a Family event as part of the annual Community Day. Usually members join teams and shops around town with their families who are on the list. But due to the pandemic, most of the purchases were made online this year. This morning, those purchases are now at the Jewish Federation campus, and from there, the items will be distributed to the families.
We run through Jewish Family Service. We run a food pantry that's open to the entire community year-round that has food and household supplies. But specifically during this time of year, during Hanukkah, we found that there were many Jewish families in need, and there was no service that was able to help them because the other programs were geared towards Christmas. So that's how Adopt a Family began as an effort in the Jewish community.
Well, the Adopt a Family program has been around for about 15 years. Donors supply everything from household items to clothing to toys. More than 65 households are being helped this year. The time now is 5:06. It's Monday morning. We got to get a check of that forecast with Alyssa Donovan. Hey, Alyssa.
Hey, it is a chilly start, Lauren. Temperatures in the 30s across the Midwest right now. 31 right now in Indianapolis. We have those northerly winds, though, so it feels a little bit more like the 20s today. And we also have this upper low that's moving down from Michigan right now. That's crossing right into Indiana, bringing us plenty of cloud coverage. That cloud deck is going to stick around for most of your Monday. We're also seeing just a few light flurries on the radar with that system as well. So we could see a few of those yet this morning here in central Indiana, including Indianapolis. So just keep a lookout for that. Besides that, it is going to be a dry day and a cold day. Those temperatures starting this morning in the low 30s, just right about at freezing to head out the door. And then as you come home this afternoon, we could see some peaks of sunshine later today, just a little bit though. Mostly we are going to see a lot of cloud coverage for your Monday. 38 degrees for our high. We do have a nice warming trend on the way in the 7-day forecast. I'll have those details in just a few minutes.
All right, Alyssa, thank you. The president says his personal attorney has tested positive for the coronavirus just ahead this morning. How Rudy Giuliani's diagnosis could impact the balance of power in the Senate. Let's take a live look outside right now. This is our INDOT traffic camera along US 31 up in Carmel. A view near Rangeline Road. Good morning to you in Hamilton County. Your drive looks pretty smooth here along the highway. We'll continue to keep a close eye on your roads as you're heading out the door this Monday morning. We'll have more news, weather, and traffic coming up just after this short break. Stick around. The time right now is 5:11. It is Monday morning, and we are keeping a close eye on traffic as you're heading out to work or school early this morning. Here's a live look at I-65 near West Street and MLK. If you're heading into the downtown area from the north side, northwest side, things are traveling smoothly. As you can see, no crashes around the metro area or central Indiana to slow down your commute. But of course, we're keeping a close eye on things. We'll let you know if that changes this morning. Well, this morning, President Trump's attorney is recovering in Washington, D.C. at a hospital this morning after being diagnosed with the coronavirus. ABC's Alex Perche has the latest on that, plus the president's plans on Inauguration Day.
This morning, the president's attorney, Rudy Giuliani, remains in a Washington hospital diagnosed with the coronavirus. He's 76 years old and has a history of health complications. Giuliani says he's feeling good, recovering quickly, and keeping up with everything. Last week, he traveled to Arizona, Michigan, and Georgia, appearing mostly maskless at legislative meetings.
That alone raises suspicion of fraud.
In a statement, the Trump campaign says the former New York City mayor tested negative before traveling to each state, and that he did not experience any symptoms or test positive for COVID-19 until more than 48 hours after his return. But Arizona's legislature is closing this week after at least 13 lawmakers were in close contact with him. President Trump tweeting, "Get better soon, Rudy. We will carry on."
And I want to say Hello, Georgia.
Over the weekend in Georgia, the president continued his claims of election fraud while rallying support for 2 Republican senators in runoff races.
Your governor could stop it very easily if he knew what the hell he was doing. He could stop it very easily.
Now calling for the state's Republican governor to order a special session to overturn the results of the election, which showed Joe Biden winning. Sunday night, Governor Kemp released a statement declaring that holding a special session in order to select a separate slate of presidential electors is not an option that is allowed under state or federal law. Meantime, most candidates in those 2 Georgia Senate races were on the debate stage Sunday night. Incumbent Republican Kelly Loeffler and her opponent, Reverend Raphael Warnock.
And the people of Georgia are coming back to get their seat.
And in the other race, Democrat John Ossoff debated an empty podium, his opponent, incumbent Republican David Perdue, refusing to participate. And according to the website Axios, President Trump will not attend Biden's inauguration. Instead, he'll hold a rally in Florida. Alex Perche, ABC News, Washington.
The time right now is 5:13 this morning. Attorney General William Barr is thinking about resigning. That's according to a source with knowledge of the issue. The person says Barr is not happy with President Trump and his, quote, bullying. President Trump is frustrated with Barr for saying that a Justice Department investigation found no evidence of widespread voter fraud. Even if Barr chooses to remain in his position, President-elect Joe Biden will assemble his own cabinet after his inauguration. At 5:14, student loan borrowers will get another month of relief. It comes after Education Secretary Betsy DeVos extended the pause on payments through January 31st. Borrowers haven't had to make payments since March in response to the coronavirus pandemic. The relief includes interest accrual and suspended collections on defaulted loans. Congress has not yet approved more pandemic aid. However, lawmakers could also extend that relief past January 31st. Let's get a check of our forecast for today as people are heading outside. Alyssa, maybe kids heading to the bus stop. It's kind of chilly to start the day.
Yeah, you're going to want to bundle those kids up if they're heading to the bus stop because it is a cold start. We are starting this week well below average with those temperatures, just a few degrees. And then we are going to see a climb into the 50s. A warming trend is on the way for the rest of the week. So really, we just have to get through today and tomorrow. Those are our chilly days. And then Wednesday and Thursday into the weekend, we are going to see those temperatures climbing well above average into the low to mid 50s. Rain is also back in the forecast. So we're going to see a quiet stretch of weather through the work week. And then by Friday night, we do have those showers returning and they're going to stick with us as we head into Saturday as well. Right now, 31 degrees in Indianapolis. Feels a little colder than that. Feels more like 25 degrees when you step out the door. And that's because of that wind chill. We have these northerly winds, very light right now, but they are helping usher in that cooler and drier Canadian air today. We also have an upper low that's coming down from Michigan right now, moving to the southeast. What that's doing is bringing us mostly cloud coverage this morning. But if you look a little closer, we do have these weak returns on the radar, which means we do have just a few light flurries, especially for our northwest friends in Lafayette and Kokomo. Can't rule out seeing a few of those flurries, though, here in Indianapolis this morning as well. If we do see those, they will be very brief and they will move through quickly, and then they will be clearing out by likely the noon hour. And then into the afternoon, we're going to see some calmer conditions. We'll continue to see those cloudy skies. However, we could see some peaks of sunshine in there to partly cloudy skies this afternoon. And if we do see more sun than clouds, we could warm up a few more degrees because of that daytime heating. What's going on is we have that chilly air over Indianapolis right now. That's been impacting us the past couple days. Yesterday, our highs were only in the low 30s. Today, we'll just reach the upper 30s. And then we do have this ridge just off to our west. That mild air is going to start moving into place over the next couple days. So Tuesday still going to be cold, but by Wednesday, that mild air is really going to filter in, and into Thursday, that's when we're going to see those temperatures climbing well above average. We'll be into the 50s by Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of this week. So you just have to get through Monday and Tuesday. And here's a look at those temperature highs. Monday, 38 today, 41 on Tuesday, 50 by Wednesday, 52 by Thursday. Usually we're right around 42 for our daytime high this time of year. Now, looking ahead to the weekend, we do have that potential of some rain in the forecast, and here's why. We have this deep low pressure system that's going to track across the area Friday night. That's going to start to bring us some rain showers Friday night, and then we are going to continue to see those throughout the day on Saturday. There's quite a bit of moisture associated with this system, so good chance of some widespread showers with that. And of course, as we get closer to this event, we'll let you know exactly what to expect and where. Today, temperatures starting in the 30s this morning with just a few flurries in the air, 38 degrees for our high, maybe some peaks of sunshine this afternoon, but for the most part, it's going to be a cloudy start to our week. 41 on Tuesday, near average with those temperatures. Again, usually right around 42 this time of year. So 41 is going to be your typical December day. Then we start that climb. 50 on Wednesday, 52 Thursday, 54 on Friday. Friday night is when those showers move in, and those will be here just in time for the weekend on Saturday.
All right, Alyssa, thank you so much. Let's take a look at traffic this morning. It is Monday at 5:18, and here's a look over on the west side. I-465, a view near Crawfordsville Road and I-74. You can see traffic there is moving along freely this morning, not monitoring any crashes to slow down your commute. So let's take a turn right now. This is down on the south side. Camera just froze up here in the last minute or so, but this is I-65 in Greenwood at the Main Street exit, and traffic there is moving along up to speed as well this morning. No crashes in the area of Johnson County. Of course, we'll continue to keep you updated if there are any trouble spots you should avoid this Monday morning. So shopping local, it's more than just a slogan for Hoosier small businesses. They're looking for ways now to make it beyond this pandemic. And so this morning, our own Kelsey Anderson is showing us how a local community is making an innovative change that they hope others may soon follow.
Small business owners all across central Indiana are doing what they can right now to stay open. Some of them turning to online sales. They are having to get innovative, and in the town of Zionsville, the community is uniting all vendors by creating an online marketplace. It's a model local leaders believe other cities could use as well to help local business owners. The marketplace allows customers to search all local shops for what they are looking for, making it easy and convenient to shop local.
We've seen all types of businesses adjust and adapt, whether they're retail, whether they're service-based, whether they are a restaurant. You know, people are doing what's needed in order to keep their businesses going. And this year, we are trying to do as a chamber what's necessary to support those businesses' needs to make sure that they are around after this is all over. And because almost 70% of every dollar that comes into a small business stays local, that means that every dollar that we put back into the local economy or we keep here, rather than having it go to a different corporation outside of our area, means that we are supporting our local economy.
In the next half hour, you're going to hear from the creator of that company and how he hopes he can help communities across the state unite their vendors so they can all shop online. Working for you, Kelsey Anderson, WRTV.
Kelsey, thank you. It is 5:20, and this morning researchers say how long a person spends on their smartphone doesn't impact their mental or physical health. Well, researchers followed nearly 250 smartphone users for a week and asked each participant about their mental and physical health. The study showed that those who showed signs of depression or anxiety did not use their smartphones more than those who did not. Researchers say much of the anxiety was actually experienced by people worrying about their smartphone usage. New technology could one day restore sight to the blind. Scientists in Netherlands Institute for Neuroscience developed brain implants made up of about hundreds of electrodes. The implants were inserted into the visual cortex of 2 monkeys. The device allowed them to make more shapes and lines out than previous technology. The problem with the new device is the electrodes only last about a year before they need to be replaced. Well, new dog parents are picking names that might sound a little bit familiar to you. The website rover.com releasing its list of 2020's top names for dogs. The top three female names, that is, were dogs Bella, Luna, and Lucy. Male dogs, the most popular names were Max, Charlie, and Cooper. A lot of dogs also found themselves with some celebrity names this year, Kanye and Tom Brady becoming more popular, while the usual popular Beyonce trended downward. So radishes typically are grown just below the Earth's surface, but these roots extend high into the sky. We'll show you their unique growing situation just after the break. Let's take a look at traffic right now as you're heading out the door this Monday morning. Northeast side, here's a look in your area, I-465 and I-69, where traffic is moving along up to speed on your interstates and on the exit and entrance ramps here. We'll keep you updated on any issues for your commute when we come back here on Good Morning Indiana. Stick around. Welcome back. It is 5:25. The first crop of radishes grown on the International Space Station is now harvested. Take a look at this. The video shows their growth inside the advanced plant habitat. On November 30th, astronaut Kate Rubins collected the 20 plants and put them into cold storage for the return to Earth next year. The experiment is to help NASA learn to grow quality plants on the ISS. NASA says it chose radishes because they reach maturity in less than a month. Pretty interesting. It's kind of like that movie where Matt Damon's growing the food for himself on Mars. So
I love that movie.
I know. Pretty cool, though.
Very cool. I love that.
Yeah. All right, what can we expect as people are heading out the door this Monday, Alyssa?
So it's a chilly start today. Temperatures are only in the 30s across the area. We're actually going to dip down a little bit yet this morning. If you've stepped outside, you're probably thinking it feels colder than the 30s, feels more like the 20s. And that's because we do have those northerly winds moving in, so it makes it feel a little bit colder as you step outside. Looking ahead through the rest of the day, we'll continue that climb just into the low 30s by the noon hour, mid 30s and upper 30s this afternoon. Mostly cloudy throughout the day as well. Maybe some peaks of sunshine later today. The good news is we do have much warmer air moving in for the rest of the week.
These boxes will soon be unpacked to offer officers better protection and to build public trust. That story coming up on WRTV.
From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
Now at 5:30, local businesses banding together during this pandemic. Our Kelsey Anderson shows us their effort to making shopping local much easier for you.
And Raphael, a local organization is making sure that kids who are high risk for COVID-19 can still enjoy some holiday fun this year. We'll take a look at the special event that brought some smiles and holiday cheer to kids right here in central Indiana. But first, it is 5:30. I want to thank you for joining our team on Good Morning Indiana. I'm Lauren Casey. Raphael, it is great to see you on TV. It was great to see you at the toy drive in person, but of course, socially distant over the weekend.
What a great event that was, Lauren. It was a beautiful day on Saturday. Little cool, Alyssa Donovan, but we appreciated that it was dry, right? Little light wind as well, but again, it was dry and a great day for all those who donated. So thank you to all those who are so generous right here in central Indiana. Alyssa Donovan, it is great to see you. Good morning.
Hey, great to see you too, Raf. Good morning. Good chilly morning. Temperatures this morning a little bit below average for a change. We are going to continue to see those temperatures climbing throughout the week. I want to show you, though, on our radar that we have plenty of cloud coverage to start our day. We also have just a few light flurries, especially over our northwest counties this morning. Can't rule out seeing a few of those flurries here in Indianapolis. That's all from a system that's just moving in from the north of us. That's going to push through very quickly, but it is going to bring quite a bit of cloud coverage throughout your day. 31 right now in Indianapolis. Feels a little colder than that, and that's because we have these northerly winds that's helping usher in that cooler, drier Canadian air. So feels a little bit more like 25 degrees as you step out the door today. So you definitely want that warmer jacket as we head through the afternoon. We're only climbing a few more degrees, and then we do have a big warming trend on the way for the rest of the week. I'll have those details coming up.
All right, Alyssa, thank you. Let's take a look at your commute right now. This is just east of the downtown area along Interstate 70. A view here of I-70 at Rural Street and Keystone Avenue, where traffic is traveling up to speed this morning. No major issues to slow you down on this side of town. Of course, we'll continue to keep a close eye on your roads for your Monday morning commute, and we'll keep you updated. Raphael?
So, Lauren, now to the latest on COVID-19's impact here in our state. Health officials reporting a weekend total of more than 14,000 new cases. Let's break that down. More than 7,700 cases were confirmed on Saturday. On Sunday, more than 6,600 cases. And that brings the state's total number of cases to 381,617. 112 more deaths were also reported over the weekend. So far, in the first 6 days of this month, 246 Hoosiers have died with the virus. November remains the deadliest month since the pandemic began.
The Marion County Coroner's Office is saying with COVID-19 and the increase in homicides, it is stretched thin and it's in great need of more staff and more funding. So a public hearing will be held tonight during the City County Council meeting over their request for $275,000 in additional money. Chief Deputy Coroner Alfie McGinty tells WRTV that the office's death investigators are used to handling around 150 cases through this time of the year. Well, most of them are now handling more than 350 cases already. She says that what they need is more staff.
We're utilizing pathologists that we've had to call from other states to just come and help perform autopsies because our pathologists are overwhelmed. Ultimately, there's going to be a price that someone is going to have to pay if we don't have the staff to do the job that we need to do.
The City County Council is expected to vote on that funding request tonight. The money would also be used for more supplies and PPE.
So some states are now issuing more stay-at-home orders. ABC's Mona Kozar-Abdi reports that this comes as the FDA plans to discuss the approval of Pfizer's vaccine this week.
This morning, more than 33 million people in California now under strict stay-at-home orders.
I think it was inevitable until a vaccine comes.
The new restrictions in California's major metro areas, forcing bars, hair salons, and movie theaters to close. Restaurants are limited to takeout and delivery only, and gatherings of people from different households are prohibited. Across California, nearly 1 in 10 coronavirus tests is now coming back positive. Intensive care capacity at hospitals dropped below 15% this weekend. But in some counties, defiance from law enforcement. Sheriffs in Riverside, San Bernardino, and Orange counties are refusing to enforce the lockdowns.
These closures and stay-at-home orders are flat out ridiculous. The metrics used for closures are unbelievably faulty and are not representative of true numbers and are disastrous for Riverside County.
Meanwhile, California is not alone. Across the country, more than 101,000 people are in the hospital with the virus, nearly twice as many as a month ago. ABC News getting a look inside this field hospital in Worcester, Massachusetts, where doctors say they're better prepared this time.
It's a little bit easier this time in the sense that we know how to set things up. We've learned a few things.
And now, an urgent warning for holiday shoppers. The CDC recommends avoiding in-store shopping and opting for curbside pickup instead. If you must go inside, they say go off hours, only touch what you plan to buy, and use touchless payment systems. But this morning, hope is on the horizon. Pfizer's vaccine is being delivered to British hospitals today. Vaccinations begin there tomorrow. The vaccine could get the green light here in the U.S. after this Thursday's FDA hearing. Mona Kozar-Abdi, ABC News, New York.
And back here it is 5:35 with the holiday shopping season underway. Many Hoosiers are turning to online shopping so they can be safe in this pandemic. And this morning, our own Kelsey Anderson is showing us how one local community is making an innovative change. And it's a model that other communities may soon follow. Kelsey, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Lauren. So small businesses across the country are doing what they can right now to stay open, and many of them are turning to online sales. That way they can keep their businesses alive. They're having to get innovative, and in the town of Zionsville, the community is uniting all vendors by creating an online marketplace. It's a model local leaders believe other cities could use as well to help local business owners. The marketplace allows customers to search all local shops for what they are looking for, making it easy and convenient to shop local. We talked to the founder of the website's creation, and he says this is something that's been in the making for a long time.
I think there's an opportunity for us to be able to create something that not only provides value now amidst a pandemic, but also into the future, because even once we get past this, you still have, as a small business, to compete with Amazons, with Walmarts, all of these other marketplaces.
Yep. Script. I'm good now. So here's how it works. Shoppers, especially those looking for holiday deals, can go to the Chamber's website where they are able to type exactly what they're looking for in the search bar, and it shows them which local stores have what they need. Now, the site is growing every day as more and more vendors are participating. And right now, there are more than 15 vendors in Zionsville using this. So if you're in Zionsville and want to use that shop, all you have to do is go to the Chamber's website. And then if you're in a community outside of Zionsville and you think this would work for you, you can head to WRTV.com for more information. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, WRTV.
Kelsey, thank you so much, and what a great idea there in Zionsville. And with many annual art shows and fairs canceled this year due to the pandemic, the Indianapolis Arts Council is hoping that people will support local artists this holiday season through their new online marketplace. Right now, their annual winter art sale is all online, featuring more than 90 artists from right here in central Indiana. Each one is able to create their own page within the marketplace, which can be viewed like their own storefront, allowing artists to engage with customers. The Art Center's president hopes that this helps artists survive through this pandemic.
We saw a lot of the, older artists in that sector retire. It was just too much for them. Their whole year's income was just vanished. And so they didn't have an outlet. And when you look at that, that's where, having a high focus on innovation, during this pandemic, on doing things, not in a way to replicate or substitute, but just innovating and developing new ways and new models and new thinking, was how can we give them, access to audiences? And really it was to build this foundational structure of a marketplace.
So the winter art sale is open now at the artcentermarket.com. Again, their website, artcentermarket.com. It will close on this Thursday, December the 10th at 6 p.m.
Well, if you plan to mail your gifts this year, the post office is now opening some branches on Sundays. It started last weekend and it will continue through the 20th. About 24 post office locations will be open across central Indiana, including 6 right here in Indianapolis. That includes Castleton, Eagle Creek, Nora, Park Fletcher, Speedway, and Southport. For a complete list of the hours and locations, just look for this story at WRTV.com.
So, Lauren, families with children who've been quarantined since March because of serious health conditions, they were given a chance to safely get out of their homes and enjoy some holiday fun. On Sunday, the Indiana chapter of A Kid Again allowed around 350 people from at-risk families visit Conner Prairie's Walking Lights display. The plans for the event were approved by the health department. Everyone was required to wear a mask, flow into the event one way. There was timed entry and, of course, social distancing. We talked to one child who says this is a good way for everyone to get their minds off of what's happening with this virus.
So far, it's been really cool. I just got done talking to Santa, and next I'm probably going to go look at the Christmas lights. This is the first time I've been out of the house since March and been able to do anything other than school.
What a great event. The Indiana Pacers and Jax Pacific also partnered with A Kid Again to provide 3,400 toys for the event, allowing each child to take a toy home. What a great day for those families. Now on this Monday morning, let's check in on your local forecast with our Alyssa Donovan. Good morning, Alyssa.
Good morning, Raphael. We are starting a little cloudy this morning and a little cool this morning. What's going on is we have this system that's moving in from the north. That's bringing us a lot of cloud coverage to start our work week. We're also seeing just a few light flurries showing up on the radar. Most of that is to the northwest, right around Lafayette and along I-65, but can't rule out a few flurries here in Indianapolis this morning as well. If we do see any of those, they will be very brief, likely clearing out by the noon hour. As you head to school today, if you're bundling up those kids and heading to the bus stop, you do want a warm jacket for them. It is going to be cold to start. Even though those temperatures are in the low 30s, it feels a little bit more like the 20s because of that wind chill. We have that northerly light wind helping usher in that cooler and drier air. So you definitely need to bundle up today. Staying pretty chilly as we head into the afternoon. The good news is maybe some peaks of sunshine later today. Our highs into the upper 30s.
Alyssa, thank you. Today, progress is expected to be made on a COVID-19 relief bill coming up, what it includes, and a big element many people are saying is missing. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. It is a day of national remembrance as we mark 79 years since the attack on Pearl Harbor. Indiana's governor directed all flags to be flown at half-staff. That's in accordance with the president's order that it's effective until midnight tonight. The attack by the Japanese killed 2,403 Americans, and every year a ceremony is held at the USS Arizona Memorial with Pearl Harbor survivors and World War II veterans in attendance. But this year, to protect them during the pandemic, the ceremony will be closed to the public. Instead, it will be streamed on the Pearl Harbor National Memorial's Facebook page.
Well, the president says his personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, has tested positive for COVID-19. The 76-year-old former New York City mayor could have exposed hundreds of people to the virus. He's been traveling to battleground states as President Trump works to overturn election results. On several occasions, he met with officials for hours at a time with no mask on. Giuliani was admitted to the Georgetown University Hospital and tweeted yesterday that he was feeling good, but there's been no other update so far on his condition. More details are expected today on a new COVID-19 relief bill proposal. The $908 billion measure is expected to get backing from President Trump and Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. What we do know is the deal would not include $1,200 direct payments to most Americans. Today's expected proposal would be attached to a larger year-end spending bill that's needed to avoid a government shutdown this weekend. It is 5:46 on our Monday. Let's get a look at our forecast and what we need as we head out the door today, Alyssa.
Ooh, you're going to need your warm coat and possibly a hat and gloves. Depends on how sensitive you are to the cold. I know I would wear my hat and gloves if I was heading out to the bus stop with the kids this morning because it is a chilly start to our day. Temperatures right now in the low 30s. It's 31 degrees in Indianapolis. You might say that's not that cold. Well, it feels more like 25 degrees, and that's because we have those light winds out of the north right now, just about 6 miles per hour, but that is still impacting us and giving us a little bit of a wind chill in the air. Partly cloudy skies right now, but as we head through the day, we'll see a little bit more cloud coverage throughout our morning and into the midday hour. That's all due to this system just to the north of us that's coming out of Michigan. That's crossing the state, and that's also bringing with us a few chances of flurries in the forecast through this morning. So we're seeing a lot of those flurries to the north along I-65 around Lafayette, and then we are seeing the potential of those flurries moving into central Indiana and including Indianapolis this morning as well. If we see those flurries, they'll likely just last the first half of the day. By the second half of the day, possibility of those clouds breaking up a little bit. So we'll switch that to partly cloudy skies for our afternoon forecast. Could see some sunshine. If we do see that sunshine, then we do have the potential of warming a few more degrees than our expected highs right now. So what's going on is we have that chilly air that's really over Indianapolis. That's going to continue to impact us today and tomorrow. And then we are going to start to see that change coming in. We have this ridge that's just off to the west right now and to the southwest. That's going to start moving into central Indiana by Wednesday and Thursday. That's going to bring us some much warmer air and more moisture in the forecast as well, which will lead to some showers as we head towards the weekend. So that mild air will trend us upward with those temperatures over the next couple days. So today and tomorrow, just a little bit below average. Usually our high is about 41, 42 degrees this time of year. And then we are going to climb about 10 degrees on Wednesday into the low 50s, and we're going to stay in the low to mid 50s as we head towards the weekend. By Friday night, though, we do have another change coming our way, some wet weather. So we're going to stay dry through the work week, and then by late Friday, we have this deep system that's going to move in. That's going to bring us the potential of widespread showers Friday night and throughout the day on Saturday. And of course, as we get closer to when that event is going to happen, we'll give you closer details on what exactly to expect at your house when it comes to rainfall totals. Looking at our day, starting with some of those flurries this morning, temperatures in the 30s will be right around 35 by the noon hour, 38 degrees for our daytime high, partly cloudy this afternoon. Looking at our 7-day, 41 tomorrow, so that's about average for this time of year. And then we climb quite a bit. 50 on Wednesday, 52 Thursday, 54 on Friday, and then we do have those showers moving in late Friday into Saturday for your weekend.
All right, Alyssa, thank you. We are monitoring breaking news this morning. You can see it from our tower camera here as we take a view to the west along Washington Street. We're learning that fire crews are working an apartment fire in this area just a little east of Belmont Avenue. They're battling a rooftop flames in this area, which you can't see any flames from our camera, but you can see that Washington Street near that area is blocked off to traffic. So let's take a look at our map, show you exactly where this is at. You can see some red there on your screen. Again, closed Washington Street between Belmont Avenue and White River Parkway. So if you're traveling through that area, some detours you may want to use. If you're west of this area is Holt Road and Sam Jones Expressway to get around the closure. If you're near the downtown area heading over towards the east side, you may want to use West Street and Raymond Street as roads to get around this closure. Of course, this is something we'll be monitoring throughout the morning. We'll let you know if there are any other details we can share with you or any other traffic backups in the area. Right now, things are still pretty quiet, but you will want to avoid Washington Street. Raphael?
Thank you, Lauren. I am following you as well on Twitter with the very latest information. The Colts back on top of their division, their win against the Texans, tying them at 8-4 with Tennessee. WRTV's Brad Brown breaks down the Sunday surprising finish.
The first half between the Colts and Texans featured multiple servings of offense. Colts got the first score of the game, T.Y. Hilton finding the end zone for the second straight Sunday. He had 100 receiving yards in the first half. Houston came back with the next 10 points. Colts would retake the lead after that. Nyheim Hines gets into the end zone in the final minute of the opening quarter, his third touchdown of the season. Later, Phillip Rivers with the short pass to Jonathan Taylor. He had only one touch in the game prior to this, but would go untouched to the end zone to give the Colts a 21-10 lead. The teams combined for 502 yards of offense in the first half. Indy was up 24-20 at the break.
We got a lot of guys in our running back room that can make plays, whether it's through the air or on the ground and pass protection. It doesn't matter. So my biggest thing was whenever my number was called, I had to make sure that I was executing because I know the team is counting on me and I know the other guys in the running back room are counting on me.
Defenses dominated after that. The Colts got the game's first takeaway late in the third quarter. Kenny Moore simply taking the ball away from Brandon Cooks. A scoreless third quarter left the Colts leading by 4 to start the fourth. Taking a big chance to make it a two-score game. 4th down and 1, Taylor gets stuffed in the middle of the line. Colts pass up some sure points, but leave the Texans buried deep.
A lot of confidence in that call, the situation. We had momentum. We had a good drive going. My gut feeling and our confidence in our offense to pick up the play. There was multiple options on the play.
Just a few plays later, Justin Houston comes up big for the D, takes down Deshaun Watson for the safety, extending Indy's lead to 6. But the Colts defense would have to get it done one more time. They get some help with a bad snap to Watson under 90 seconds to go. Grover Stewart dives in, keeps the ball loose. Anthony Walker recovers, and that seals the win. Hold your breath all the way to the end. The Colts escape with a 26-20 victory after a most improbable shutout in the second half.
You got to believe me. You got to play to 0-0 on the clock. You never know what can happen. I've been around this game so long. I saw so many plays that happened at the last second, so many crazy plays. So you always got to believe and you always got to continue to play to 0-0 on the clock.
The only thing we had in our mind was we got to stop them. We can't let them score. It's too late in the game. And we got to show them like why we one of the top defense.
Great play by our defense, being strong, hanging in there. They're moving the ball. Deshaun's a great quarterback. Fought hard all game. Their team fought hard all game, but we knew that we had enough to make a game-winning stand, and we were able to come up with that.
Obviously, the defense came up with a big turnover, a big safety. Obviously, the big turnover at the end to win the game. So, special teams had some huge plays come over and get called back. But, I don't know. I think we found out we can win anyway. We can win anyway. We found plenty of ways to win. We're going to hang in there and stick together no matter what.
The Colts got some help from Cleveland on Sunday. The Browns taking down the Titans in a big way. So the Colts and Tennessee are now tied for the AFC South lead. Titans hold a tiebreaker at the moment, but both teams have 8 wins with 4 games remaining. The Colts play in Las Vegas against the Raiders next Sunday. Brad Brown, WRTV Sports.
Hey, Brad, thank you so much. The NFL's Week 13 continues tonight right here on WRTV. Listen to that music. It's time for Monday Night Football. It's Buffalo taking on San Francisco. Live coverage starts tonight at 8 p.m. You're watching Good Morning Indiana on WRTV.
Welcome back. We're going to start this morning a little chilly outside. Temperatures are in the 30s, just below freezing today to start, but it feels a little bit more like the 20s because we do have that wind chill. Those winds out of the north about 10 miles per hour this morning. We're going to drop down into the 20s this morning as well, briefly right around 8 or 9 a.m. And then we'll climb into the low 30s by the noon hour. This afternoon, our highs staying in the 30s for most of us. 38 degrees for our high in Indianapolis. A warming trend is on the way. I'll have those details in just a few minutes. You're watching Good Morning Indiana. We'll be right back.